Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are going to be reacting to this article. One player every NBA team should already be targeting at the trade deadline. So, normally I do these type of videos on the main channel, Crispy Flakes, but I do think I'm going to start bringing them to this second channel right here, especially this time of year, guys. Not really a ton of NBA content to actually react to, which is why there's been kind of a drought in the videos. I'm still aiming for daily uploads and stuff like that, man. But, you know, it's that time of year. So, this article actually did catch my eye a lot. It looks pretty cool because I did scroll through it, and these are not like players that are like obvious ones, you know. I mean, like, you're getting like Bradley Beal and probably Jaylen Brown here somewhere, but it's like actual players that you might not really hear about that would fit very nicely on other teams. So yeah, if you guys can please do me a quick favor and drop a like on this video, it would be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and jump into this. The first team we have is Atlanta Hawks getting Myles Turner, and you know what? I actually absolutely love this fit because I think for this trade to get done, you know, for one, Myles Turner would be like exactly what they need at that center position. He's somebody that can go out there, stretch the floor, play a little bit of defense, you know what I'm saying, man? He would basically be Dwayne Dedmon on steroids for this squad. Of course, Dwayne Dedmon's now on the Kings. But for Myles Turner to get on this team, it would probably cost them either Cam Reddish or DeAndre Hunter, because like I can see the Hawks just because they already kind of have like a logjam, man, because they got Kevin Huerter out there. It seems like they do like him a bit. They don't really want to run John Collins at center, so it's like John Collins got to play the 4 spot. You want to get Myles Turner for the 5. So you're looking, you know, either Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, or DeAndre Hunter. And I feel like the Hawks would be like, you know what, we're cool with Kevin Huerter as our starting shooting guard. So I could see them probably, I think it would probably be DeAndre Hunter. And then you roll with Cam Reddish at that 3 spot. Then all of a sudden, you know, you get Myles Turner on the Atlanta Hawks. Next up, we got Dwayne Dedmon to the Boston Celtics. So, yeah, they definitely lost defense and floor spacing abilities with Al Horford going to the Philadelphia 76ers. I like Enes Kanter a lot. I like Enes Kanter more as a backup, though. And I think if they got Dwayne Dedmon to be like the solidified starter, you know, kind of like the Zubats of the team for the Clippers, but then when push comes to shove, you get Enes Kanter out there as the Clippers do with Montrezl Harrell. I think that'd be a nice move for the Boston Celtics, just to get a guy that can, you know, do some of the things out there that maybe Al Horford used to do well for this team. Next up, we got Jay Crowder on the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, it just gives you a veteran that's been to the playoffs. That's about it. You know, having like Taurean Prince and guys like that on the team already. Caris LeVert, they got those guys that can play multiple positions, can play that 2, 3, or 4 spot. But, you know, you want the guy, you want like a Jay Crowder that can mentor those young bloods out there. And just like I said, man, when you need like a playoff veteran in there, you go to Jay Crowder. Next up, we got Charlotte Hornets going for Gordon Hayward. So the reason I actually do like this quite a bit here is because the same reason why I wanted him to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. And that is just, it's a rebuilding team. It probably will not cost that much to get him because the Boston Celtics would simply just want to get him off the books. He does have a larger contract. And it's like, okay, let's say he's bad for the Charlotte Hornets. Well, you're no worse off than what you currently are anyway. Now, all of a sudden, if he becomes like his all-star self and can drop 20 points per game, then you got yourself, you know, a guy that you were able to get on the Charlotte Hornets team because, of course, you know, they're not going to be like a big-time free agent destination probably for the foreseeable future. So, I like it just for that. Next up, we got Chicago Bulls getting Michael Porter Jr. I guess the only way you could see this is maybe the Denver Nuggets don't really want to deal with a project in Michael Porter, and you could go out there and trade them like more of a ready now guy in Otto Porter, Otto Porter for Michael Porter, and then all of a sudden Michael Porter is the guy that can develop with that young Chicago Bulls squad. That's really the only reason I could see the Nuggets actually doing a trade like that to get you know, Michael Porter off the team, but I don't think that's going to happen. Next up, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers, Nassir Little. I'm trying to think of some pieces that the Portland Trailblazers could trade for to get, you know, to take Nassir Little on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Maybe like, because I'm trying to think like maybe like a Tristan Thompson or somebody like that, but it's like they already have Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside, so I don't really see that happening. Maybe like a Jordan Clarkson and like a Jetty Osman if they want some more depth off their bench. I really don't know. I think the Portland Trailblazers should keep Nassir just because he was a steal, you know, at that was like 25th pick in the draft. Now, if you get him on the Cleveland Cavaliers, he instantly becomes a rebuild on their team. I guess Kevin Love, if you can work out a trade for that, sure, why not? Next up, we got, no, this ain't gonna happen, bro. Dallas Mavericks getting Blake Griffin. It actually would be a pretty nice trade. I don't really know who the Dallas Mavericks have that they would be able to trade to get Blake Griffin, because come on, man, he is the best player on the Pistons, one of the best power forwards in the NBA. Now, as far as him being a fit with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, yes, that would be a beastly big three, but outside of those guys, they don't really have the trade pieces to get Blake Griffin. Denver Nuggets going for Bradley Beal. I've actually heard small talks to this. I kind of want to do a rebuild of it, actually, on my main channel. Maybe I will eventually. But yeah, Bradley Beal. See, my thing with the Denver Nuggets is that I think they got some pretty good things going on over there. So I'm kind of the mindset, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it ain't broke, man. Like, they're doing fine. Now, if you were able to get Bradley Beal and team up with Jamal Murray and Jokic without trading those guys, which I don't think they would anyway, then sure, I guess that's your big three going forward. But I just don't really know what the deal will be looking like. Next up, we got the Detroit Pistons getting Courtney Lee. Yeah, I mean, same move as it was getting Wayne Ellington last season. Just a guy that can be a 3-and-D player on the team, veteran. That's about it. Gives you a little bit more depth right there. Courtney Lee is not exactly the player he used to be, though. We got the Golden State Warriors with Robert Covington targeting him. So I've actually heard rumors of this already, saying that he would be like the new Andre Iguodala of the team. You know, the guy that plays the defense, can knock down the occasional three-pointer, and just kind of, because he would fit nicely with Curry and Klay Thompson, because he would play the game exactly like Iguodala did. I don't really know, I don't really know a good trade that would happen with this, though, man, because unless you want to run him at the 4 and Draymond Green at the 5, which you probably don't, because you got to keep in mind, they are going to have Klay Thompson back on the team. They are going to have D'Lo on the team, so unless you want to use Robert Covington off the bench, which I really don't see that happening, so it would need to be a trade probably with D'Lo, but you got to get more back than just Robert Covington. So I don't know who exactly, maybe like a Jeff Teague and like a draft pick, just give him more depth right there, I suppose. Speaking of Andre Iguodala, Houston Rockets, yeah, Rockets are in win-now mode. They got Russell Westbrook, they got James Harden. Iguodala brings you championship experience. I do think he's a bit old, but at the same time, he would not need to, like, shoot a lot anyway, so you're just hoping his defense would be good at that 3 spot. Next up, we got the Indiana Pacers getting Danilo Gallinari. So, yeah, he would probably have to play the 4 on the team, which isn't a bad fit. Like, so maybe they trade, because, yeah, he's on the OKC Thunder, so it'd have to be either Sabonis or Myles Turner. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, they trade Sabonis. Then you're looking at TJ Warren at the 3, Gallinari at the 4, Myles Turner at the 5 with Victor Oladipo and Malcolm Brogdon. In the Eastern Conference, I mean, Gallo was dropping like 20 points a game last season, guys. Keep that in mind, so that'd be pretty nice. And it's expiring deal, yes. We got the Clippers getting Nerlens Noel, so I don't mind Nerlens Noel as a backup center. They got Zubac, they got Montrez. I don't really see a need for it unless you want to use him as like a third stringer, which doesn't even really exist in the NBA, but it kind of does. It's like the unspoken string. Like there are like third string guys on NBA rosters, but he doesn't want to be that. We got the Lakers getting Trevor Ariza. Yeah, it seems like whenever LeBron James ever has like big time success, like in the finals or something like that, it always comes down to these Trevor Ariza type players. You know, the Kyle Korvers, the Mike Millers, Shane Battiers, just guys that have always been really solid NBA players. But just when push comes to shove, it's the big moment. You got a veteran out there, and they're going to go out there and just have one of those like weird, unknowing 20-point games that they have not had in like 5 seasons. Trevor Ariza would probably be that. Next up, we got Sabonis on the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, sure, if they got him, it'd be interesting, I guess. But Valanciunas appears to be nice on that team. They already got Jaren Jackson. I don't really see a need for them to target Sabonis. Next, we got Kyle Lowry in the Miami Heat. That actually would be a lot of fun, just to see, like, because Jimmy Butler obviously is not as good as Kawhi Leonard, but just have, like, Kyle Lowry go to that team up with Jimmy Butler in Miami, see what they can do, you know, in the Eastern Conference, because they got some nice pieces around them. And Kyle Lowry, I don't think he'd be winning a championship, but he'd be making a nice playoff run at least. We got Al-Farouq Aminu of the Milwaukee Bucks. Defensive guy, knock down 3-pointers, can play alongside Giannis. Probably put him at the 3 with Giannis at the 4, or vice versa, Chris Middleton at the 2. They don't got Brogdon anymore, man. Who the hell's their point guard? Yeah, Eric Bledsoe at the point guard spot. Just gives you another, like, good player. Not much to say about Al-Farouq Aminu these days. We got D'Angelo Russell on the Timberwolves. This right here, man. Like, this is friendship goals, basketball goals, dynamic duo goals. I want to see Karl-Anthony Towns with D'Lo. I feel like both these players have a chip on their shoulder, have a lot to prove still in the NBA, and them teaming up, watch out, league. Like, especially in like 2-3 seasons, watch out. Next up, we got Joe Harris on the Pelicans. A younger version of JJ Redick. Amazing 3-point shooter. So, that's about it. We got Jerome Robinson on the Knicks. Yeah, you might see Jerome Robinson, especially with them having Landry Shamet on the Clippers. And, of course, Lou Williams. Like, Jerome probably is not going to be doing much on that team. So he was like the 15th pick, I believe, in his draft class. Go to the team like the Knicks, get some more playing time. You know, maybe it's a contract season. I don't know exactly what the situation is, but see what you can do. We got the OKC Thunder getting Goran Dragic. You know, if this trade involves Chris Paul, then it makes sense because, of course, Dragic is an expiring deal. So that's good for the Thunder. You know, get CP3 off the books. CP3 goes to the Miami Heat, as we all thought he was going to. At one point, you know, once again, team up with Jimmy Butler. The Orlando Magic getting Chris Dunn. I actually like this fit a lot because I think Chris Dunn at this point probably gives you more than DJ Augustine does. The thing is that Chris Dunn does have pretty good starting point guard experience, or even if you want to go with DJ at the starting spot, Chris Dunn as the backup, what it does is it gives you like a little bit of an insurance policy until Markelle Fultz is ready to go. And whenever Markelle Fultz is ready to go, you know, Chris Dunn either falls out of the rotation, unfortunately, or becomes the backup point guard, which is kind of his destiny anyways, probably be a backup. Philadelphia 76ers Wayne Ellington gives you a nice wing player. That's about it. We got Dante Exum to the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I mean, you guys, like, you might as well take a chance on the guy. You got Ricky Rubio be your starting point guard. Dante Exum, I kind of consider him more of a bust than anything, but it would be nice to see him get a different change of pace on a team. I'm sure the Utah Jazz would probably want more of a veteran, you know, off their bench anyway, just because they are trying to make a run at something in the Western Conference. I don't, you know, with Mike Conley as your starter, you probably just want more of a sure thing for your backup spots. Portland Trailblazers, Kevin Love kind of talked about this already, man. Just gives them, you know, that third option out there behind CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard, those guys, and of course him alongside either Hassan Whiteside or Nurkic. It's not a bad little front court you got going on. Sacramento Kings, Norman Powell. San Antonio Spurs, Steven Adams. Seems like a Greg Popovich guy, you know, just like pure hustle out there and just going to give you it all every single night. I don't really know who. Well, I don't know, man. I'm sure the Spurs could think of some trade against Steven Adams. Have that be like a DeJounte Murray or a. But they don't even need like a guy like that, man, because they already got Shea Gilgeous for their future point guard. So I can't really think of a good trade here that would make this happen. Maybe they just go with like a Jakob Poeltl, like a draft pick, maybe a Bryn Forbes, give them, you know, give the Thunder some young players. You guys let me know. What would be a good trade for the Spurs to do to get Steven Adams? We got the Toronto Raptors getting Mo Bamba, so this is kind of assuming they go in the direction of, okay, we got a championship. Kawhi Leonard's is no longer here. We're going to trade Kyle Lowry, which Kyle Lowry, actually, for Mo Bamba, would actually be a nice trade, man. Just because, of course, you know, the Magic get themselves a nice veteran point guard. And then, of course, Mo Bamba, team with the Pascal Siakam, like that's going to be a dominant front court like in a few seasons. The Utah Jazz, Marvin Williams, not doing much on the Charlotte Hornets. Once again, solid stretch big. That's about all he's doing these days. Washington Wizards finally getting Jaylen Brown. So, yeah, it gives you like a younger Bradley Beal shooting guard. Like I think Bradley Beal is going to have the way better career regardless. But yeah, it's like the Celtics go out there, they get more of a sure thing, a guy that we know what he is exactly with Bradley Beal, and then Jaylen Brown gets to go to the Washington Wizards, be like the main man there because John Wall's not there. We're looking to see him reach his true potential. I think it works out for both sides, guys. But yeah, give me your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I did go through these kind of quick because I can definitely talk about this all day and make it like a 30-minute video, but I know you guys ain't got time for that. So hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know if you want me to do some more of these article videos. Maybe I'll do like one of these like every 2 or 3 days, something like that. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.